Reggae Boys clip Honduras 2-1 in CONCACAF Nations League. VP Kamala Harris did brilliant takedown of Chaos King. Jamaica to send troops to Haiti tomorrow. 3 more shot in Manchester, while Jamaican killed in Bronx, New York. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. Kamala Harris was brilliant last night in the presidential debate, and to cap it off, she gave a massive speech promising stability and hope away from the chaos that comes with the former president, who talked about immigrants eating dogs and cats in Springfield. Here is her recap speech.
So I think you've heard tonight two very different visions for our country. One that is focused on the future, and the other that is focused on the past, and an attempt to take us backward. But we're not going back. And I do believe that the American people know we all have so much more in common than what separates us. And we can chart a new way forward. And a vision of that includes having a plan, understanding the aspirations, the dreams, the hopes, the ambition of the American people, which is why I intend to create an opportunity economy, investing in small businesses, in new families, in what we can do around protecting seniors, what we can do that is about giving hardworking folks a break and bringing down the cost of living. I believe in what we can do together that is about sustaining America's standing in the world and ensuring that we have the respect that we so rightly deserve, including respecting our military and ensuring we have the most lethal fighting force in the world. I will be a president that will protect our fundamental rights and freedoms, including the right of a woman to make decisions about her own body and not have her government tell her what to do. I'll tell you, I started my career as a prosecutor. I was a DA, I was an attorney general, a United States senator, and now vice president. I've only had one client, the people. And I'll tell you, as a prosecutor, I never asked a victim or a witness, are you a Republican or a Democrat? The only thing I ever asked them, are you okay? And that's the kind of president we need right now. Someone who cares about you and is not putting themselves first. I intend to be a president for all Americans and focus on what we can do over the next 10 and 20 years to build back up our country by investing right now in you, the American people.
Next President of the United States, Kamala Harris. Listen, we cannot go back to chaos. We have to go out and vote for our children and our grandchildren's future. Today is 9/11, one of the worst days in history, when 2 planes loaded with passengers were hijacked and crashed into the Twin Towers 23 years ago. Thousands of people died, resulting in the nation, our life as we knew it, change. There will be many services and ceremonies today to commemorate those fallen in the aftermath of that cruel act, and we will never forget that day. An earthquake with a magnitude 3.5 was reportedly felt in Kingston and St. Andrew and St. Catherine yesterday morning. According to the earthquake unit at the University of the West Indies, the quake occurred at 9:53 a.m. and it was located approximately 7 kilometers north of Golden Spring in St. Andrew and had a local depth of 24 kilometers. And Jamaica seems to be having tremors every single week nowadays. The Integrity Commission is distancing itself from any possible leak of information from its office regarding documents yet to be tabled in Parliament. And this comes hours after Prime Minister Andrew Holness said he was concerned about the leaking of a report submitted by the Integrity Commission last Thursday for tabling. The alleged contents of the yet-to-be-tabled report was aired by a media house on Monday, and it detached itself from the breach. The Integrity Commission said it had not divulged and will never in any way divulge information contrary to the requirements of the law. And it is said that the Prime Minister and 7 others from his party were under scrutiny for years after how they got rich, and nobody knows where their money was coming from. Prime Minister Andrew Holness, meantime, announced on Tuesday morning that Jamaica will begin its participation in the multinational security operation in Haiti with the deployment of 24 members of its own security forces. This initial deployment will comprise 20 soldiers of the Jamaica Defense Force and 4 police officers who will depart the island tomorrow. They will be under the command of Jamaica's Colonel Kevron Henry, who will also be second in command of the overall multinational contingent, according to the country's Chief of Defense Staff, Admiral Antoinette Gorman. Several hundred Kenyan security personnel are already in Haiti as they spearhead the multinational support mission under the mandate of the United Nations in an effort to restore civil order to that country. Overall, the last year heavily armed gangs have taken control of large portions of the country's capital, Port-au-Prince, displacing thousands of residents and causing the resignation of the interim government that was set up following assassination of the country's last elected president, Jovenel Moise, on March 7 of 2021. Meanwhile, a 51-year-old man died in a fire at his house in Claremont in St. Anne Tuesday morning. He is Norman Hay, a truck driver of Beechamville in Claremont, and it's reported that about 8 a.m., residents observed the three-bedroom dwelling engulf in flames and called the police. Two units from the St. Anne's Bay and Ocherias fire station responded. Mr. Hayes' remains were found on the veranda near a locked grill, and it is suspected that the fire started at the back of the house. The cause of the blaze is still under investigation. Meanwhile, one person was killed and two others shot and wounded at Green Street in Knockpatrick, Manchester, adding to a string of murders in the parish over the last week. The police said that 46-year-old Kevin Brown, otherwise called Trees or Indian, a carpenter of Green Street, was killed while at a bar in the community. And it's reported that about 10 o'clock, Mr. Brown was among patrons when three masked men approached and opened fire. Mr. Brown and two others were hit. They were taken to hospital where Mr. Brown was pronounced dead and the wounded persons treated and released. Between last Tuesday and Monday of this week, 5 persons have been gunned down in Manchester. A Jamaican man was fatally shot Monday morning outside the Bronx, New York, home he rented. According to the New York Daily News, police have identified the deceased as 46-year-old Denver Bernard. He reportedly migrated to New York from Jamaica recently. Authorities said that Mr. Bernard was shot 3 times by a gunman who stepped out of a dark-colored vehicle about 8 a.m. in the morning and opened gunfire. Neighbors reported told police that they heard a barrage of explosions before seeing Mr. Bernard's body lying on the ground in a pool of blood. New York Daily News said that police confirmed that Bernard was heading to work when he was shot. They added that he had no arrest record, and a motive for the killing has not yet been identified. On to sports, Jamaica edged Honduras 2-1 last night in Honduras, and the Reggae Boys, who drew 0-0 with Cuba on Friday night, got a 49-minute lead via an own goal from Denzel Maldonado before the home team leveled through David Ruiz in the 50th minute. The Jamaicans secured maximum points courtesy of Michael Antonio, who converted a 76-minute penalty. The Reggae Boys will have their next assignment in the Nations League away to Nicaragua on October 9th. And in schoolboy football, we're going to start with Manning Cup. Jamaica College got off to a flying start with a 9-0 beating of Pembroke Hall. Ascot edged Bridgeport 1-0, while St. Catherine beat Norman Manley 3-0. St. George's in their first game were 2-0 winners over Holy Trinity, while Hydel demolished Arden 9-0 and Eltham beat Clancarty 5-0. Meanwhile, in the Costa Cup, Anchovy were 3-1 winners over Nakalva. Rossies were 3-1 winners over Cambridge as well. Frome Tech edged Green Island 2-1. Little London beat Godfrey Stewart 2-0. Stets were 1-0 winners over Magadi. St. Joseph 1-0 winner over Mayday. Edwin Allen beat Claude Mackay 3-0. Central beat Lennon 4-1. Spot Valley 5-2 winners over Discovery Bay. Cedric Titus 6-0 winner over Holland. William Nib 3-0 winner over Mushat, while Christiana and Alphonso Davis played to a 0-0 draw. Dintil did a massive 12-0 beating of Tatius Golding, while Magrat were 2-0 winners over Claremont. Marcus Garvey and York Castle played to a 2-2 draw. Ocherius beat Brownstown 3-0. Abutnat Gallimore and Ferncourt played to a 1-1 draw, while Happy Grove beat Robert Lightburn 10-1. Kempshill were 5-0 winners over Old Harbour. Fogar Road 3-0 winners over Winston Jones, and Bel Air were 4-0 winners over the Cartridge College. And there'll be several more games today, and of course, stay tuned to this radio. You'll have those results tomorrow. And that's going to be news and sports on your favorite radio. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.